Attraction follows patterns, and those patterns reveal far more than romance ever admits. When a woman feels drawn toward an older man, her interest carries intention, curiosity, and quiet evaluation. This attraction rarely happens by chance. It unfolds through subtle psychological signals, measured reactions, and carefully chosen words. Women approach older men with a different mindset, guided by emotional intelligence and instinctive awareness. Rather than direct pursuit, they observe. Rather than open desire, they test. These tests appear simple on the surface, yet they hold deep meaning beneath every sentence. Older men stand apart in the dating world. Experience shapes their presence. Calm shapes their voice. Confidence shapes their silence. Because of this, women who crave older men seek reassurance through questions that seem ordinary yet carry weight. These questions serve as gateways. Each one uncovers emotional strength, inner stability, and masculine direction. Many men answer quickly, believing words matter most. In reality, response energy speaks louder than vocabulary. A single pause, a steady tone, or relaxed certainty can shift attraction instantly. This video reveals the hidden structure behind those moments. Two specific questions surface again and again when a woman evaluates an older man. These questions appear during casual conversation, quiet moments, or even playful exchanges. Most men misunderstand them. Some try too hard, others explain too much. A few lose control of the frame without realizing it. Those reactions decide everything. Attraction either deepens or dissolves within seconds. Here, clarity replaces confusion. You will learn why these questions exist, what emotional signals they measure, and how women interpret responses far beyond spoken language. This knowledge changes perspective. It removes guesswork. It reveals why certain men command respect effortlessly, while others struggle despite effort. The difference lies within emotional discipline and self-alignment rather than clever lines or surface confidence. Suspense lies within these moments because women rarely announce their intentions. They observe quietly, allowing a man to reveal himself through natural reaction. These tests filter strength from insecurity. They expose leadership from dependence. They highlight grounded presence from nervous performance. Understanding this process transforms interaction into awareness rather than anxiety. By the end of this video, you will recognize these questions instantly. You will understand the psychology behind them and the deeper desires they reflect. More importantly, you will gain insight into how mature masculine energy passes these tests without force, without explanation, and without effort. This awareness brings calm, clarity, and control into every interaction. Stay with this video until the final moment, because the second question carries greater impact than the first. Many men pass one test and fail the other without knowing why. The final insight ties everything together and reveals how attraction shifts from curiosity to trust. Welcome to our channel, where psychology, power, and human behavior meet clarity. If you value deep understanding, quiet confidence, and timeless masculine wisdom, subscribe now and join a growing community focused on truth beyond surface-level attraction. Some women feel drawn to older men for reasons that run deeper than surface attraction. Emotional maturity plays a central role. Older men often carry a sense of calm that comes from lived experience rather than learned behavior. Their reactions tend to be measured, their presence steady, and their emotions less reactive. This creates a feeling of balance that many women find grounding. In moments of uncertainty or tension, that calm energy stands out and becomes quietly reassuring. Experience also shapes how older men move through conversations and relationships. Having faced success, failure, and change, they are less likely to rush, prove, or impress. This contrasts strongly with the impulsive nature often seen in younger men who may act from urgency or insecurity. Younger energy tends to fluctuate, while older energy remains consistent. That consistency signals reliability and emotional control. What truly attracts many women is the sense of emotional safety that develops around an older man. He listens without judgment and responds without volatility. His confidence does not demand validation. Instead, it exists as a quiet certainty. This safety allows a woman to relax rather than perform, to speak freely rather than guard her words. Physical appearance and financial status fade into the background when emotional stability enters the picture. The attraction grows from trust, presence, and the feeling of being understood rather than impressed. Female tests rarely appear as challenges or confrontations. They are subtle, woven into everyday conversation, and often delivered with a calm or even playful tone. Women usually test indirectly because direct testing disrupts natural interaction. Instead of asking for proof, they observe behavior. A simple question can carry layers of meaning, designed to see how a man responds when there is no obvious pressure. The surface sounds casual, but the intention runs deep. These questions often feel harmless, yet they quietly measure inner strength. They reveal whether a man feels secure within himself or seeks approval. Confidence shows through relaxed responses rather than defensive explanations. Leadership appears when a man remains steady and decisive without forcing control. Boundaries become visible when he neither over-explains nor submits his frame to please. The test is less about the answer and more about emotional posture. Older men face these tests with greater intensity because expectations are higher. Age brings assumed wisdom, stability, and self-awareness. Women instinctively look for confirmation that these qualities truly exist beneath the surface. An older man who reacts impulsively or emotionally breaks the illusion quickly. A man who stays composed confirms it effortlessly. These quiet evaluations continue until consistency replaces curiosity and trust begins to form. The first question often appears early and sounds harmless, yet it carries emotional weight. It usually enters the conversation as curiosity rather than challenge. Beneath that calm delivery, a deeper evaluation takes place. This moment is designed to reveal how a man handles subtle pressure without realizing he is being tested. The focus rests on emotional strength rather than verbal cleverness. At its core, this question measures emotional control. A woman watches for signs of irritation, defensiveness, or the need to justify oneself. It also reveals self-worth. A man who values himself does not rush to explain or seek approval. His sense of identity remains intact regardless of the question. Independence shows through emotional posture rather than words. He appears complete within himself, unaffected by the need to be validated. Common reactions often weaken attraction. Some men over-explain, believing detail equals confidence. Others joke nervously or shift their tone, revealing discomfort. These responses signal uncertainty and emotional dependence. In contrast, a strong response feels calm and grounded. It communicates stability without force. The man remains relaxed, his energy unchanged, his presence steady. This signals inner confidence and emotional maturity, allowing attraction to deepen naturally without effort or performance. The second question carries more weight and usually appears once interest has already formed. It arrives later, often when comfort and familiarity increase. This question feels heavier because it looks beyond emotion and into direction. At this stage, a woman seeks clarity about where a man stands in his life and how he moves through decisions. The tone may still sound casual, yet the evaluation becomes far more serious. What she truly wants to see is purpose. Purpose does not mean rigid plans or detailed explanations. It appears through certainty and alignment with one's own path. Decision-making becomes central here. A man who hesitates, changes direction mid-sentence, or seeks reassurance reveals internal conflict. Calm leadership shows when choices are expressed without tension or apology. His words feel settled rather than forced. Hesitation weakens attraction because it signals instability. Uncertainty suggests a lack of direction and emotional grounding. This question acts as a filter, separating men who carry inner authority from those who rely on external validation. Weak men attempt to impress or over-justify their position. Strong men respond with clarity and ease. Their confidence feels natural, unshaken, and self-contained, allowing trust and attraction to deepen through quiet assurance rather than performance. These two questions carry meaning far beyond the words spoken in response. The actual answers rarely determine attraction. What matters is the manner in which they are delivered. Tone reveals confidence before logic has time to register. Certainty shows through steady pacing and relaxed expression. Calmness reflects emotional control, signaling that a man remains grounded regardless of evaluation. These subtle cues communicate far more than any carefully chosen phrase. Women pay close attention to reactions rather than explanations. A slight shift in energy, a defensive pause, or a sudden change in tone speaks loudly. Logic can be rehearsed, but emotional posture cannot be easily hidden. This is why long explanations often weaken the moment. They create noise where clarity should exist. A composed response, even with fewer words, feels stronger and more authentic. Older men who pass these tests do not attempt to impress or perform. They remain present and centered, allowing their confidence to exist without display. Their responses feel natural because they are rooted in self-assurance rather than strategy. This absence of effort creates ease. Attraction grows through consistency and emotional stability, not through cleverness or persuasion. The quiet strength behind the response becomes the message itself. The most common mistake older men make during these moments comes from misunderstanding what is being evaluated. Many believe the test is intellectual, so they begin to explain too much. Long answers filled with detail often dilute confidence rather than strengthen it. Instead of clarity, the response turns into justification. This shift signals uncertainty and emotional tension. Seeking approval creates another weakness. When a man looks for validation through tone or phrasing, it reveals dependence on the other person's reaction. Attraction fades when confidence appears conditional. Overcompensating follows quickly. Some men lean on past achievements, personal stories, or social status to reinforce value. While experience matters, presenting it as proof feels forced and disrupts natural flow. The most damaging mistake occurs when a man loses frame during the test. His energy changes, his posture tightens, his calm presence disappears. The conversation shifts from connection to performance. This loss of internal control communicates insecurity more clearly than words ever could. A woman notices this instantly. These moments are subtle yet decisive. Maintaining composure and self-direction matters more than delivering the perfect response. When an older man passes both tests, a noticeable shift begins to take place in her behavior. The dynamic softens, her tone becomes warmer, and her engagement feels more natural. The need to probe or evaluate fades as comfort settles in. Respect grows quietly, expressed through attentiveness and genuine interest rather than overt signals. She listens more closely and responds with greater openness. Attraction deepens beyond surface-level appeal. It moves away from curiosity and into emotional connection. The man is no longer seen as someone to assess, but as someone to rely on. His presence feels stable, predictable in the best way, and emotionally secure. This stability creates space for vulnerability without fear of judgment or imbalance. As trust forms, the subtle tests disappear. Conversations flow without hidden agendas. Her energy relaxes because the need for reassurance has been met. Emotional safety replaces evaluation. The connection becomes less about proving worth and more about shared understanding. This shift marks the transition from interest to trust, where attraction rests on consistency, calm leadership, and emotional depth rather than appearance or surface charm. These tests are a natural part of attraction, not traps or games designed to confuse. They exist because women seek emotional certainty and inner strength, especially when drawn to an older man. Passing these moments does not require tactics, clever answers, or calculated behavior. It requires self-control, emotional awareness, and a grounded sense of self. Manipulation creates tension, while calm presence creates trust. Masculine strength shows most clearly in stillness. A man who remains composed under quiet evaluation communicates confidence without effort. His calm becomes reassurance. His presence becomes leadership. Attraction grows when there is no need to prove, explain, or perform. This kind of energy cannot be forced or faked. It comes from knowing who you are and standing comfortably in that truth. Thinking differently about attraction changes everything. It shifts focus away from external validation and toward inner stability. When calm replaces urgency and presence replaces performance, connection becomes natural and effortless. If this perspective added value to the way you see attraction in relationships, like this video to support the channel. Subscribe to our channel for more insights into psychology, confidence, and timeless masculine wisdom.